What up, traders? How we doing? I was just out at the close. Now we're money making Mitch. Let's get this party started. I got some great stocks to talk about today. We're going to talk about how the market recovered, where we can take a look at for some opportunities, and is this the time to jump into tech? We'll talk exactly about that. You guys do me the favor, start me up with a great thumbs up, and let's get this party started.
It's time for Money Making Mitch. When investors need a story, we're going to the moon. Welcome to Money Mitch, where story is everything. I'm here to find you the next opportunity. It's all about the green hands. Now we all know the bull market is here to stay. Money Mitch.
What up, traders? Welcome back. If you're joining in from at the close, I hope you had a fun time talking about some stocks. We're going to keep the party going. If you guys got a stock that you guys didn't get answered on at the close, this is the show for you. You guys engage with me in the comments, and I will definitely engage and touch those stocks that you guys want answered. So Matt Miller in the chat, what's going on out there? Tom Brady talking about coin. We'll get into some of those. Yeah, definitely. I need to take a look at coin. It's probably a good move there. Manny getting in the house. Roy talking about the Shiba coin. Shiba has been destroying up. Yes. If you haven't seen Roy, we have a lot of videos on Shiba. There was actually a moderator that joined the Moon or Bust team live. So if you didn't catch that interview, I would definitely check it out. Dino, what's up? Easy Mike, how we doing out there? Let's keep it going. GM Hertz talking about AEHR. Can't blame you. That was a good semiconductor material stock, making a great day. Rob talking in the chat. Hex talking about BTB. What's going on, Scott? CEI. Probably, but no one's going to talk about that one. Yeah, Scott, if you don't know, I was actually calling to the downside of CEI when exactly on live trading on Friday when people were thinking this one was going to rip up to 4. I said that it would probably break 3 and it would never recover past that $4 mark again. And then the short report hit, and you saw what happened to that, Scott, today. But we'll talk a little bit about CEI a little bit later on. Chase Gordon, what's going on? How we doing? We can take a look at TSM. I got you. I'll do that for you. Penn. The brother-in-law on the couch not working. I know, right? Where's this guy Portnoy at? Let's go ahead. Let's get into the overall market. What did we see today? We actually got a nice push on up, but if you can see at the close, we're starting to pull back down closer towards the support. We want to see about, I would say this 432 at least hold. We don't want to see it crack down below that. Right now, we kind of really got a little bit of a pullback going into the close here, but we'll see what happens with the overall market. Nice little bounce back today. What I really liked was the Q's bounce back. If we take a look, we've been talking about would it come back to 350, and it did come back to 350, but we bounced right off that level, exactly what we wanted to see. We've been drawing this trend line and following it, looking for when we were going to retrace to this line. And when we first started coming here, didn't seem that concerned until we got to the Monday when we really had that gap down approach. And then we started seeing the pullback. I was wondering, were we going to get that move back towards the trend line? That's exactly what we got. Now can we start pushing back to kind of this uptrend, maybe getting towards that 370 mark? We'll see what happens. Can we get back on up here? And the real question is, what's going to happen between this period? Are we going to go ahead and test back down? Or are we going to break out through that 370? We'll see what happens in the Qs here. So like we always like to do, we like to talk about the biggest sectors and going into the industries and then the stocks. So let's start going into here. We take a look here. Technology really bouncing back. It's what I kind of wanted to see, but I was wondering where we're going to come back towards this support line. That's what we talked about yesterday. Really got a little bounce back. It's okay if we get a pullback. We just don't want to break that line on the downside or get the moving average to get below it. There was a couple stocks that had a good day today. We can take a look at some of these semiconductors and equipment. AEHR being mentioned in the chat. That one did well. Popped back up from 13, filling the gap, which is very important. The shadow was filled here. And this is what you always want to do. Kind of draw these shadows. Whenever I see a stock pop up, these days, what I would have done is I would have just drawn the shadow. I would have been like, okay, so here's where the shadow pocket is. That's where I want to attack a buy. And where do I want to attack a buy? I want to use this as the support because that's where it's coming to. And then slightly below it, where's the next level down? The next level down, you could use the low right here, or maybe even this low, 1121. And you could be risking about, you could say, a little bit under $1 trying to attack this one, getting it right back up there. Or you could have gone for the low of the other candle here, which is 1143, and you're talking about more of a 60-cent risk here. And that would have been a nice candle to attack there as you see in the shadow fill, and then you see it pop back up. Just kind of showing you how you can attack those shadows. But I do like this stock now that it's popped up there. The big thing for me is hold 13 on any pullbacks and look for a big push towards 15 tomorrow. We'll see what happens in AEHR there and see if it can continue making a move. CEI might follow the Hertz or Kodak feel. Easy talking about. Who knows? Maybe that could happen. I remember HTZ ripping on up. That's why Portnoy is selling cheap pizza. Hey, maybe that's what it is, right? Maybe Portnoy just doesn't have the gas anymore. We'll see what happens. All right, so if we keep moving down, we could take a look at some of these other ones that are making big moves on up. Of course, you could take a look at some of the software infrastructure stocks. Let's take a look at some of the biggest names like Microsoft, Adobe bouncing off there, Oracle having a good day. That looks strong. Look at the daily chart on Oracle. Look how this one also filled a gap. It gapped down, filled that gap really fast, then came up. What did it do again? It had earnings. What did it do? Gap down. And then what does it do? It fills the gap, guys. This is exactly what we want to be looking at. I've been seeing a lot of these shadows fills. Pay attention for them. Those can help you get a great position on a stock like Oracle. Square bouncing off here. We'll see what happens with Square. This one's been fighting a little bit here. I think we're in a sideways trend here for Square. The big thing is it needs to go ahead and start pushing back out through the high. I would look for a strength move to 250. If not, this one's probably heading down closer to 200. And that's Square. Looking interesting there for sure. Hope you're good and green. What about the naked? Eduardo Morales talking about naked. I'll take a look at naked right quick. Let me do a quick look here. So naked has just gone sideways there. Daily chart has a nice little pullback, but as you guys can see, every time this one pops, it just kind of drops. Pop, drop, pop, drop, pop, drop, pop, drop. I would look for the next potential pop and drop, but I mean, hey, there's just not much here. I mean, even if you get 20 cents, you're not going to get too much on that. You're talking about 20% move, but even a down move, let's say closer towards the support 56 is also an 18% move or a 14% move down. So it's just not something that I would be chasing. I mean, if it's something that you like, I would look for maybe a push back above the 200 day. But as you saw today, it was kind of a trap right there. It kind of popped up, got above that 200 day, and then really quickly faded down. Be careful. That looks really trappy to me on that pop and drop type of stock right there. But of course, make your own decision, Eduardo, and do what you think is best. All right, let's keep going. Baba up today. It's a miracle. We can pray. Jack Ma. Yeah, I know we were talking about that on pre-market prep. Will Baba get into the green? It's been having those fights with the Chinese government. And I mean, I honestly still don't like it. I'm looking for that 330 on Baba, but I'll show you guys why. I mean, it's a clear 130. It's a clear point of support, but we'll see if it gets back towards that line. I have about 129, but really it's about 130 right here off this support. If it gets into that area, I'll go ahead and I'll make you even take a chance on Baba. All right, let's go ahead. Let's keep going. HD, Home Depot having a good bounce back day. Keep your eyes on that one. Disney looking like it wants to not break down. Look how it went right here. It has like this look right here. So you're talking about one attempt to break it on the downside. Now you're getting a second attempt to break it on the downside. Be careful for that third attempt. If you do get a third attempt to test this line again, that 170, it could break down. But if we get back above 180, I'd be liking this stock to get right back up there towards 190s. We'll see what happens with Disney and in the next couple of weeks. CEI short report legit, or is it FUD? Hey, well, one thing I can tell you at least is that CEI is a classic stock that the hype got bigger than the stock itself. So when the stock got towards 450s, 475s, it just was too much hype. And that's what happens, John, with these stocks. And so it's kind of an easy way to attack a stock. If its stock has gone, let's say from, let's say it's about a total here of 1,240%, $4.49. It's not a hard target to do a short report on a stock like this. And as we know, there's a lot of analysts out there that like to attack stocks, especially those meme stocks. So this was clearly one of those stocks that just got attacked. All right, let's keep going. What do you got out there? You beat my Patriots. They're talking to Tom in the chat. I can't blame them. I'd talk to Tom if I wasn't playing. I actually have a Twitter handle that we could talk about that later about sports betting picks, but you guys know how I like my sports betting. Do you guys remember how we talked about RSI yesterday and how it could potentially make a move towards 22? I just want to know who is buying it up there, because as we go into 4 o'clock, right, all of a sudden you see at like in the morning or into the close, RSI jumps towards 22. I was like, yo, what happened there? Someone watching Money Mitch calling out that price point. I was like, are you serious? It just opens right there at 22.10. I was wondering where we're going to get the news, but we didn't get any news in this RSI pop. I'm going to keep a close eye on it because it keeps trying to fight up here around 20s, 21s. We'll see if it gets that next lift. And this is RSI starting to push on up. Mitch like Kodak, wait a few days for CEI. Okay. Hey, you guys, Easy's calling out to wait for a little while, see if it comes back like Kodak or Hertz. We'll see if it comes back. Just at Just Fun Gaming, not here, but at the close show, did at 3:30. You can rewind. Probably we talked about a stock. What was being mentioned in the chat there? Palantir after hours. Jim Cruz wants to talk about Palantir. Let's take a look at Palantir. Palantir jumping back there. I think 2368 is a nice level to get back above. Let's take a look here. 15-minute. Ooh, nice pop there on Palantir. Good call out, Jim Cruz. Let me see if there's some news here on Palantir. So going by Benzinga Pro here, seeing what we got. Looks like we got a contract win here, guys. I'm going to go ahead and pull it up here. This is from Benzinga Pro. Palantir wins $823 million contract for intelligence data fabric analytics solution here. So they announced it's been selected by the U.S. Army Program Manager for Intelligence System, as we can clearly see it pushing to the right-hand side here. It's going to be interesting. Another big contract here, $823 million for Palantir. I've been waiting for this stock to really get a nice lift. Honestly, if I wasn't live right now, I might even take a risk off of that $23.50 or $23 below it. But it looks interesting. Tomorrow, I'll look for a pull down towards $23.50. If not, I could see this one at trading up towards 25 tomorrow. Jim Cruz with a nice call out there. All right, let's keep going. Let's get into the next one here. Let's talk about some of the stocks that I actually remember, guys. I told you yesterday I got stopped out in ULCC, And man, I should have held on to this one. Look at this one ripping up there today. I actually had this one, got stopped out, and look at the push on up today, getting a nice move up there to 1744. Already would have been up about, let's see, from 1650s. It would have been up about 6% on the trade. Would have been looking for a nice 20% move on up to get up towards the opening price. I think this one could get towards 1850, 19. We'll see if ULCC can continue moving on up, having a great day today. We'll see if this one can continue moving, man. I'm kind of annoyed that I got rid of this one, but that's how it goes. We're not always going to keep the ones that we want. Crypto is still pumping. Tom Brady's letting us know. We'll take a look. I like GME, the beat. Let's take a look. All right, so GME, I've been watching to see if it can break out of the pattern. I've been really watching to see if it can break out of this kind of downtrend that it's in. Slight downtrend, 170. If it could hold there and start pushing back towards 200, it would be interesting because I think it could start getting a run. It looks interesting here on the weekly also setting up, but it needs to hold here and start pushing right back up. We'll see what happens in GME and if we can get a lift towards 200. William Lackey talking about GME. Hive having a good day. And with that being mentioned, I'm sure that one traded well with some of the Bitcoin names. Definitely keep your eyes on that one. Mara also having a good day. BTBT. BTCM is one that I'm going to be looking to have a great day tomorrow. Look how this one's setting up on the daily. Let's look to see if this one can get towards 10 tomorrow. I talked about this one yesterday also. Any also had a good day. I like this one, guys. It looks like it's starting to push again towards the close. I talked about this one, and look how this one pushed on up there towards 650s multiple times, then cracked down, but now pushing on up in the after hours. I would like to see it get through 650s. Look at this sideways trend on the daily. If it gets through 650, I could see us pushing towards 775, maybe $8 tomorrow. A lot of trading action in this one. This one does have social following, so be careful, but I do like the chart here. Docs might be a reversal day. Let's go ahead and take a look here. Docs, yeah, not a bad one. I mean, this is one that Joel has, and that's why it's a little bit hard to judge. It's an IPO, recent IPO. Yeah, you could go after it here. It's not my favorite stock just because I don't know too much about it and I don't have too much to go off of. But has it been a strong stock? Yeah, it has. That's for sure. All right, guys, let's keep going. Another one that I want to point out is SLGG. All right, guys, we got about 7 minutes left. This one did have a nice bounce back day. Remember, I did interview the Slug CEO just a little while ago. I'm going to find out to see if there's anything new, but $3 to me is a very important price hold. So if it pulls back tomorrow, look for $3 to hold. You see how it came back at 4 p.m. here and it held 3? That's exactly what I want to see on Slug. Let it keep holding 3 and let it take that next leg up there towards 4. We'll see what happens there. My man, Tiny Pie in the chat. AMD, let's take a look. Oh, AMD is just fighting. It's just a chop mess. This one's a chop mess. Look at this. 3 lows near that 131. You got to close here 101.85. No, 134. Then you got right here 135. Today's low was 135. That is the number. That's the number, guys. Calling it here. 135 is the number on AMD. If that breaks tomorrow, I think we finally get that downside move. If it holds tomorrow, that's the spot I'm looking for on the downside to hold and continue its move right back up. So keep your eyes on that one. That's that move right here on that 130. We'll see if it gets back up there and starts trending back up. Semiconductor is getting ready for takeoff. Tom Brady says, hey, we'll see what happens. I hope it's not like you on last Sunday and not being able to cover that 7-point spread, Brady. But We'll see if this one gets back up. Nvidia, let's see how that one's setting up. Trying to get back above 205. That's the one that I'd also keep on watch. Look for these to get really strong if we are going to get another semiconductor run. All right, guys, that's probably going to do it for the stocks that I wanted to call out. Now you guys let me know what stocks you guys wanted to look at. Coin, I know that was one mentioned, and with the Bitcoin stocks doing strong, look how that one ripped on up today. Nice looking trade there. 5-minute support right off the VWAP, pushed right back up. If you look here, it pushed on up. First support action here, second support right here. There was a resistance for a little while there, and then comes back to it, bounces off there, and then pushes right back up. I'm going to keep watching coin for a continuation move, day 2 move. I could see going towards 250 tomorrow. We'll see if these moves kind of continue in HUT and BTBT, Mara. One that I'd look for to get hot is Riot. Riot just did a little bounce today. Look for a strong move in Riot tomorrow to point out that these stocks are making these big moves. MSTR is another one that you can keep on watch for a big move. Look how that one had a strong day today, going up to 660. We'll see if that one can get towards 700 tomorrow. All right, Noah asking me to take a look at SI or SL. I think it's SI. Yeah, Silvergate. Ooh. Oh man, this bank is going absolutely crazy here. I like the chart. It's kind of I like to draw these charts and these patterns as 2 patterns. So this would be one pattern, and this would be the second pattern. And so a lot of times you're going to get kind of these. This is why you got to know your time frame. So this is kind of on the daily that we're looking at right now, but these are completely 2 different patterns. And this is why you also got to know how to do multi-time frame analysis, because this is a bullish pattern, this is a bearish pattern, and now it's really kind of stuck. It's stuck in between both of these, right? It was this pattern, and now it's breaking out. And now you got to see what's going to happen from this moment, and if it's going to be able to get back to these highs that it's trying to get towards, which is right here. So that's where we're going to run into some resistance. Let's see where the close or the highs on this is. 162.86. That's kind of the level that I'd be looking at. 162 or 163, somewhere in there. I'd be paying attention for some resistance in Silvergate, but it did push on up out of this pocket. I'm looking for it to continue moving. Let's take a look here on the 15-minute. I like the 15-minute. It held the VWAP, pushed right back up, especially when you got this like up 1, VWAP hold, up 2, VWAP hold, up 3, hold, push through the resistance. That's what you want to see, and it's continuing its trend. Now you want to just see it hold trend. And so this is where it really kind of started. This was the real first pullback kind of on the 4th. Draw a trend line up from there and see if it can continue holding that trend. That's what I would want to see it. As long as it can continue up sloping here in the same kind of angle, it can continue making that move. And it's okay to get a pullback, let's say to 150, but you would want to see it right back up there towards 154. We'll see if this one can continue making moves. I also like the hourly approach of that trend line because it will draw it even a little bit closer here. And then you can see how it's just uptrend from there, and you want to continue seeing that upslope. SI is another crypto stock. Thank you. Appreciate that. Looks like it's in the banking and regional. So my guess is that it does kind of some investments in crypto. I got to do a little bit more research on this one, Noah. I'll definitely do that. Charge point being mentioned by loans, piggies, and clubs. I'm going to be wrapping up here. This is going to be my last stock for you guys. You guys give me some likes. I'm going to be taking you over to the Cannabis Insiders up next. Looks like you're trying to find support, but really, I got rid of this one, guys. I got in this one at 20, and I got rid of it right underneath it at 1975 because I saw it start heading down towards the support. I'm not holding on to this one. And that's just, at least for me, I would get out of it. But you got to see it come back roaring through that 19 or 20 for me to even get an approach on this one. If not, I could see it heading back down first to 16 and then towards that 12, 55, or 13. All right, guys, it's going to do it for me today. I loved going through all these stocks, and I love going through stocks that you guys mentioned because that's really what it's all about. I like to show you guys how I work from macro to micro, going from the sectors to the industries, and then going into the specific stocks. That's how my show is different from all the other shows here on Benzinga. But you guys let me know. What do you want to see more or less of? I will definitely continue doing that. Up next, you got Cannabis Insiders. Definitely check it out, guys. We got a cannabis event that's going to be coming on next. I'm going to leave you with that trailer so you guys know exactly what's going to be on that cannabis event. And like always, guys, check out all our events. They're going to be, this one is in person in New York. If you're in New York or want to head to New York, definitely recommend it. If not, you guys can join us virtually at the Cannabis Conference, Cannabis Capital Conference. Let's get that right.